Now, I think we all know that being needy is the kiss of death for relationships, attraction, saving a relationship, getting back together with your ex, etc. But what exactly is one of the biggest things that I see people doing all the time that actually comes across as needy? We're going to be getting into that in this video. So please stay tuned through to the end, because we're going to be covering neediness and how to make sure that you don't come across as needy in the future. Hey there, this is Clay with modernlove.life, and today we're talking about what the biggest thing is that makes you come across as needy. And you know, I think we all know that neediness is not going to help you out. I mean, like, especially with like a relationship saving kind of situation, you know, the begging, the pleading, the calling and texting like a million times, all that sort of stuff. It's not going to help you with that. If you're going out and dating, being needy is not going to be helpful either, you know, validation seeking and all that. But what is it that actually makes someone needy? You know, after working with people for years and years, I'd say that probably one of the biggest things is really not seeing the other person as a human. Now, I know that we're all, you know, in this modern age and everything, we all know that we're all humans, and we all know that we all have emotions and that we should respect all of those, and that we're not objects and all that sort. You know, women aren't objects, men aren't objects, no one's an object, right? We all know that. We're all enlightened enough to know that. Intellectually, anyway. But emotionally, we still may interact with other people not as humans. You know, we may put someone up on a pedestal. We see them as sort of a god or a goddess. You know, sometimes people even refer to a very attractive person as like, you know, wow, she's such a goddess or something like that. That's fundamentally dehumanizing. It robs that person of their humanity. And it does it in a couple different ways. It does it in how we interact with them, because we're not interacting with them like we would, you know, just a friend that we're hanging out with, that we're just getting a drink with or something like that. We're interacting with them as if there's someone who can give us something, validation or approval or happiness or something like that. And so there's suddenly this sort of like taking energy that we bring to the conversation, that we bring to the dynamic. And that's gonna screw things up. That's a technical term there. It's gonna screw things up, because now you have this taking energy. It's like, hey, I need you to validate me. I need you to tell me that I'm okay. I need you to approve of me. I need you to give me permission to feel attracted to you, to want to be with you, to whatever. And that is going to shift the social dynamic in a really lopsided way. That's going to make it very difficult for the two of you to actually be able to connect with one another. Because how can you connect with someone that you're giving so much power to? How can you connect emotionally in a genuine, authentic sort of way when you're putting that person up on a pedestal, when you're putting that relationship up on a pedestal, when you're putting that person up there and looking to them as a god or goddess, someone who holds power over you, someone who holds the keys to your happiness, someone whose ultimate decision could either make this day the best day of your life or completely shatter you into oblivion. How can you have a real, genuine connection with someone when you see them that way? It's so hard. And the response to this isn't to put them down, isn't to flex, it isn't to build yourself up or anything like that, and to say, you know, hey, I'm so much better than you or anything like that, as, you know, some bitter, cynical people on the internet might tell you. The answer is to, well, first of all, see them as a human being. You know, don't see them as a god or a goddess. Don't see them as someone who can give you validation. Don't see them as someone who can be responsible for your happiness or your misery. But instead see them as just a human being who's just trying to get through life just like you are, who's going to make mistakes, who's going to regret things, who's going to be human and get angry sometimes, sad sometimes, feel hope sometimes, feel fear sometimes, feel anxiety sometimes. They're not perfect, just like how you aren't. And if you can remind yourself of that, that's going to be really helpful. By the way, if you like what we're talking about here, please make sure you hit the thumbs up button for YouTube. Please make sure you subscribe to this channel, and please make sure you hit the bell icon as well too, so that you can get notified when we upload and publish new videos. But additionally, you also want to turn to yourself. Turn to yourself for a lot of these things that you might be hoping to get from this other person. Can you give yourself validation? Can you give yourself love? Can you give yourself approval? And can you do it in a way where you don't lose touch with yourself or the other person? Now, this is really the true test, is can you keep an emotional connection with them, stay emotionally connected with them, and at the same time stay rooted in who you are? Because it's really common for people to spend so much time focusing on their ex, their specific person, their partner, you know, trying to say, oh, hey, like when you laughed back then, was that genuine or was it just being polite? Hey, when you did the thing with your hair, was that a body language thing I read about on the internet? Hey, when you, you know, got that phone call, was that really someone, or was that someone that you just had say, hey, you know, call me 15 minutes after the date starts in case it's bad so I can, you know, get out of there or something? If so much of your attention is on them that you aren't even there, then how are you ever supposed to validate yourself? How are you supposed to fill yourself up? How are you supposed to feel whole and complete yourself? How are you supposed to have empathy if you aren't even there? If you don't have access to your own emotions? What's there to empathize with? What's there to emotionally connect with? What's there to bond with? The real challenge is not to be so self-absorbed that you treat other people like objects, people that are less than you or anything like that. The real challenge is to find that balance where you can be there in the moment. You know who you are. You're present in that moment. And you're also able to be present with someone else without losing yourself in the whole process. And if you're able to do that, then, my friend, you have a real chance at creating a profound emotional connection that might just lead you somewhere really cool. Anyway, if that's something that you do want to learn more about, I'd really recommend you check out this video series right over here on advanced relational skills. It'll help you to start to develop more of these strong emotional bonds and to connect with people in a profound sort of way. Anyway, with that being said, take care, and I'll talk to you in our next video.